Brian and Tim Luxinger.
Don't forget, what we do in life will echo forever in eternity. Wyatt, Logan, touch gloves. Come across, meet your opponent. Yep, thank you, Larry. All right. All right, Jack, Shay. We're going to stay off of that for right now, okay? I don't want a red ball to start off with. All right, Jack and Shay, just like we did in the pregame, right? Like we did in the pregame, right? Come down legal. All right? Give me a second for all of the announcements done. All right, Jack and Shay, ready for me? Stay up. Down. Perfect. Set.
This championship game underway. Jack Cascadden and Shea Keefler begin the Cosmic Ballet. Peter Buchanan gives us some inspirational words from Gladiator. Cornell and Maryland meeting in the national championship game for the 4th time. They met in 2022. Maryland was an undefeated juggernaut. Cornell gave them all they can handle before the Terps hung on, and we get a flag right away, less than 30 seconds into the game.
Hold on. Let me call it. Everybody out. Move out. That was on white, 1-5, offsides, 30-second technical. 1-5, white, offsides, 30-second technical. Reset to 80.
Cornell as the higher seed, wearing the whites. Maryland, the 2 seed, in the red, and the Terps with an early man-up opportunity.
This unit has not been clicking as of lately. The key guy, Daniel Kelly, 45, the lefty.
C.J. Kirst was whistled offsides. In goal for Cornell, Wyatt Nust, senior out of Tampa, Florida. 50% in the semifinal win against Penn State. Bryce Ford thought about the crank. Now it's Spanos, 11 goals in this tournament. Urksa feeds goal line extended, and Dubik. We're back to even strength. TJ Lamb running back on. Nust with the first save on the shot by Keegan. Ball loose in front. Cornell had it, lost it, recovers, and now the Big Red will try to clear.
The big stop by Wyatt Nust. He had 5 in the first quarter against Penn State.
I thought Maryland passed up some decent, better looks with the extra man than the ultimate shot that was taken.
Cornell, the #1 offense in the country, averaging almost 16 goals per game. Maryland, regarded as the nation's best defense, they've given up a total of 19 goals in the 3 NCAA tournament games. Here's Hugh Kelleher, a hat trick in the semis. He has got a missile from the outside. Now Michael Long, at least 4 points in every tournament game this year. And now C.J. Kirst, the nation's best player, held scoreless on this field in the semis. Long fights inside, and Logan McNaney, one of the best big game goalies we have ever seen, playing in his 4th national championship game, comes up with the save.
He's a flatliner. He's even keeled. Positioning by the book. Limited movement, but at the last second, his eyes and his hands trigger, and he's got those fast hands.
Park, we said this when Maryland played Syracuse in the semis. The Terps are known for controlling tempo. They want to play slow. Cornell, like Syracuse in the semis, wants to play fast.
And their pacing has been off the charts with late scenarios in the shot clock, making it count. 3 of them against Syracuse, under 10 seconds. On a tired defense, they will feast.
Spanos controlling. He's defended by Brendan Staub early on. He's back to Spanos, now picked up by Jason Singer. Spanos had a shot altered. From up top, Daniel Kelly's bouncer fountains into the air. It's picked up by Kelly. That's a fresh 60-second shot clock. Braden Urksa spins it back to X. Spanos to orchestrate. Directing traffic, still plenty of time to shoot with the reset. Spanos gets on the inside roll, missed. Comes up with a huge save early.
Their fans on their feet, they love it. The little lefty from Tampa, standing toe-to-toe with McNaney's experience. He's ready to go.
He had a huge first quarter in that Penn State game on Saturday. Now Kirst. Schaller meets him out into the restraining area.
CJ likes this. He likes when players get aggressive against him.
Kirst windmills down the alley, gets inside, he gets turned away. No flag. Now we get a whistle. It's going to be a push on Maryland, but without possession. Cornell ball, shot clock resets to 60.
That's where Maryland is so good, supporting the matchup. So when CJ Kirst does get a step on Will Schaller, it's the timely slides. The 5 other defenders all speaking the same language.
Luzzy swirls down the alley, second midfield on for Cornell. Luzzy and Waldman both scored in the semis out there with Ryan Sheehan. Here is Waldman, fires on the run. His second goal of championship weekend. 1-0 Cornell.
Watch the stop by Nust. He's locked up to the post. Good angle play. Matches up stick on stick. That ball actually ricochets off his cross and then hits the post. Defensively, Jackson Canfield, the double team. That's ruled a push without possession. Cornell maintains possession.
You give the nation's #1 offense another crack at it. Ryan Waldman flexing with this lefty rip. Right below the crossbar. Quint, we've been watching this kid all postseason. He comes out in warm-ups and he goes 100 miles an hour. You just see the first step and the ability to stay north-south on that dodge.
Straight up. Set.
In the semifinals, CJ Kirst was held without a point. Ryan Goldstein only had 1 goal. The other guys, the second midfield, the Poles, Jack Cascadden as the face-off man.
It's layers, Anish. It's layers of scoring, whether it's Walker Wallace or Walker Schwartz. Brendan Staub's got multiple goals in this tournament. The second midfield's on fire right now with Brian Luzzy and Ryan Waldman. Complimentary lacrosse.
There is Hugh Kelleher, the bowling ball shouldered Ivy League midfielder of the year. It's number 7 in white. Now out of the box. Kirst. Skip pass. This is how Cornell can move it. It's like a symphony. Maryland with the takeaway.
He took a big hit, Goldstein, after he couldn't corral that ball.
Welcome to the jungle when you're 5'9", 145. That comes with the territory.
His dad in the 1987 championship, Tim Goldstein for Cornell. 2 goals and 6 assists. And our friend Quint Kesnick, who was the winning goalie, Q, you had a front row seat to that performance.
Ryan and his dad play the same game. They're super fast. They've got amazing IQs. And their passing skills, super elite passing skills.
Eli Stovall had a goal in the semis. Big left-handed shot, a threat from the outside. Good defense by TJ Lamb. Closest to the shot in the cross that goes out of bounds is awarded possession.
You'll see a lot of inverting on the offensive sets for Maryland. Midfielders going behind the cage, taking the defenders out of their natural habitat.
Spanos pinballs off of Staub. Now he has a short stick matchup. Spanos bullying his way against Lamb. Now the help comes. The double dislodged. Cornell with a well-timed slide.
That's not going to cut it if you're Maryland. Remember, they run a motion offense. It's almost positionless. Rarely do you see them isolate solo.
Here comes Bawsey. He'll crank. McNaney ate it up. Logan McNaney, 13-2 as a starter in the NCAA tournament. This today is his 73rd career start.
He's ready for the moment. Others we're seeing, Paul, some decisions. You get hyped up. Like this is a game you've dreamed about your entire life. The crowd's here. It's a beautiful day. And you see some questionable decisions, especially early.
Maryland has the experience playing in multiple national title games with this group. Cornell has 13 seniors that played in 2022. The rest, this is their first taste.
There's Bryce Ford coming off a 2-goal game. Over to Whittier. Defended by Matt Dooley. Dooley was a fan in 2017 in this building when Maryland won the national title. A Massachusetts native. Ellie dangerous on that right wing. Davis in the passing lane. Whittier able to pick it up. Keegan, step down shot. Wyatt Nuss gave up the rebound and Maryland capitalizes. We're tied at 1. It's Bryce Ford.
Big game Logan. He will stand toe-to-toe with any offense. You got to move him. You got to get him guessing. He's so dialed in on the big stage. The brighter the lights, the bigger he plays. Gives this offense another opportunity to cash in on some trash.
She has raised them to be not only great lacrosse players, great people.
They are the nicest group of young men you can find. And CJ has told me, and anyone else who's asked, he plays for his father. His father, Kyle, passed when he was 12 years old. Every time he picks up a lacrosse stick, his dad is on his mind.
He told me a few days ago, this weekend, at the forefront of his thoughts, playing for Cornell, but also playing for family, his dad, his brothers, his mom.
Their positivity is unbelievable to be around. Forward looking. The game has been their oasis.
You see that displayed on the field, Quentin and Anish. In that Penn State matchup, Kirst had 0 points, but he still made an impact with his work ethic. He told me that his dad always told him, don't worry about the stat sheet. You can impact the game outside of the 6v6.
You look at his season, Dana. He leads the team in non-face-off ground balls, and he leads the team in caused turnovers. That is not a stat for an attackman.
Those are hustle stats. Waldman, who's got 1 already, and Kirst, the backup. You start to run out of superlatives for CJ Kirst, the player. He's going to win the Tewarzon Award, the Heisman of Lacrosse, Ivy League Player of the Year, first-team All-American 3 times over. Leads the nation in goals and points. Second midfield for Cornell. Shot clock down to 12. Maryland making them work. Here comes Luzzy. Has a look. McNaney gobbles it up.
Tell you, Maryland has been hesitant to double team matchups. They left Schaller on an island with CJ Kirst. They left Luzzy and Waldman on an island. Slow to slide means they trust their goalie, Logan McNaney, to save those shots.
We were talking in the break, watching this Cornell defense the first couple of possessions. They are so compact. They are forcing Maryland and asking them to shoot from the outside.
Who are the outside shooters, Quint? You got Stovall,
Spanos, Kelly from 13 and in. 13 yards and in, that is.
Keegan, a former attackman at Binghamton.
This is a man-to-man defense, but as Paul said, they're just so condensed, it almost looks like a zone.
Maryland will work late into the shot clock. They get a shot there, and the backup belongs to Keegan and the Terps.
So on the field right now, 45 in red, Daniel Kelly. He has the left-handed hammer. 7 in red, Eric Spanos, 4 goals against Syracuse. He can stretch the defense.
Shot clock at 15. Here's Spanos. Short stick matchup against Gilmartin. Spanos jogs to X.
Big Red supports this quickly.
Spanos feeding in front on the ground. Staub fighting for the ground ball. It's going to be a shot clock violation, and Cornell's got it. Quick restart for the Big Red. They want to go.
They can pin some offensive personnel on the field right now in their sub pattern if you're Cornell.
Yeah, they got a chance out of the box. Here's Willem Firth. Off the stick of Goldstein. 89 points for Goldstein, and that's only good for second on this Cornell team.
Goldstein's being defended by Peter Lake, a true freshman, 39 in red. That's a matchup Cornell has to get aggressive with.
Kelleher's got a short stick, lowers that shoulder. Now Andrew Dalton over to Firth. 5 All-Americans on the offensive half of the field for Cornell of their 6. Kelleher, a first-teamer. Defended by Maryland's best shorty, Kohler. Firth hits the pipe. And that's going to be Maryland ball off the... No, Cornell ball. Wow. Closest to the ball, where and when it goes out of bounds on a shot. Awarded possession. Now they change the call. With Cornell's offense in this tournament, took them a while to get going against Albany, against Richmond, last week against Penn State.
2 things stand out: slow starts. They haven't woken up in these games until the 3rd quarter. And then since we've seen them in the Ivy League championship game where they put up 20 against Princeton, each succeeding game their production is down. 15 against Albany, 13 against Richmond, 11 in the semifinals. The team that averages nearly 17 goals per game. They're not flowing and clicking on offense in the last 3 weeks. They're just not.
Why not?
Well, I think there's been over-reliance on C.J. Kirst. I think the lack of ball movement through X. To me, Ryan Goldstein, 30 in white, is the key to it all for Connor Busick. They get great ball reversal through him. He's able to terrorize defenses with passes to the inside and to the weak side of the formation.
Second midfield now for Maryland. Stovall, Schultz, and Aiken, who has the ball. Aiden Aiken, split dodge, easy save for Nust.
I don't know if John Tillman wants that shot that early in the shot clock, but to spin this forward offensively, to piggyback off of what you're saying, Ryan Goldstein was the player I was calling out to go against Peter Lake, who's going to be a great defender.
A little hesitation. Kirst, left hand free on the run. It will be popped into the air. Maryland trying to keep it in. They'll chuck it upfield. Comes back to Dooley. Now let's see if Cornell can play in chaos.
Today, I think Hugh Kelleher is the party starter up top. He's going to draw double teams. Maryland's not going to give him as many looks as he got in the semifinals. Off of his ball movement, though, swing it to the wing and then to Goldstein. That's when the good things happen.
Well, the good things happen when the ball's spinning at hyperspeed. It's the #1 team in terms of assists per game. So they don't score their unassisted goals at the rate when the ball is playing hot potato and everyone is involved.
They average 11 assists per game. Now Kirst, he's got a matchup here against a short stick. Swashbuckling down the alley and too much helium. It will stay with Cornell.
So we've seen some tape on CJ's right hand. When he dodges right-handed right there, if he has something wrong with his wrist, that's your top hand. It's so critical in terms of when you shoot with your offhand in the lefty's case.
Goldstein got topside against Lake. He missed the cage.
That's going to be the matchup. And going back to Kirst, he's had tape on his right wrist in practice. We noticed it on Friday. And his shooting percentage, nearly 50% for most of the season in the last 2 weeks. Below 10% right now.
Including today, 2 for his last 22. Luzzy, the bounce shot and the score. Cornell's 2 goals today coming from its second midfield.
This is the problem when you play Cornell. If you stop Kirst, you slow down Goldstein, you got to deal with the second midfield, guys like Luzzy. But don't forget about Michael Long. He's a 6th-year senior, and he has some of the best passing skills in all of college lacrosse. He times that cut beautifully. His head is up the entire time, and that is what Michael Long brings to an offense.
Luzzy does a fantastic job of cutting the short stick defensive midfielder. There you see the bounce shot. Nothing McNaney could do from close range. This is what it feels like to be a goalie. Catch and release. He puts that ball in the corner. Great cut by Luzzy, though. That short stick defensive midfield doesn't have the same length. He doesn't have the same range or reach with the defensive stick. And so you get leverage on that outside shoulder.
But he also knows you move at a different speed when a Goldstein or a Long has the ball, because he'll give it to you. Long has 11 assists this tournament. He is seeing the field beautifully and picking up for some of the slack of C.J. Kirst in terms of the attention he's getting.
Maryland Terrapins with the ball. Final minute here. Opening quarter. The NCAA Women's College World Series starts Thursday for the 24th straight year. Every game on ESPN. The finals begin Wednesday, June 4th from Oklahoma City. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Maryland can hold for a final shot, looking for the equalizer. Whittier, part of that first midfield. The long dodge. Now Spanos, 11 goals in this tournament. Inside of 10 seconds, Whittier, that one eaten up by Nust. He is 5 out of 6 in the opening quarter. Throws a mangonel the other way.
Frustrating for Maryland. That's not going to cut it. They're going to have to go to the pick game to free up some of their Dodgers. They're not winning any offensive matchups.
15 minutes in the books in this 2025 National Championship. The Big Red with a 2-1 lead. 6. Case of the Mondays. That's been the kryptonite.
It's all based on his normal routine and preparing for a battle with 7 days. And John Tillman has been to 9 national championships. It's the most ever. He's done it in 18 years.
A.J. Larkin had 2 goals in this semi. Tumbles. Don't get a flag. Now we get one. It doesn't matter. Daniel Kelly ties the game at 2. We were talking in the break. How does Maryland ignite its offense? They go quickly.
Two of the best players on Maryland are their long pole midfielders, Jack McDonald, number 51, and A.J. Larkin, number 26. And their impact in the middle of the field will be profound.
Cornell, number 7, push is wiped out. The goal is good. Face off.
The ground ball win by Larkin starts the transition. He had a pair of goals in the semifinals. There's your penalty. Kelly sees the flag down. He understands that he can take a maybe shot and not get penalized, exactly. But his placement against the lefty cart, offside hip, I mean, turn and rake.
What I liked most about it is he shot around the defender, and I think he screamed Nust. When Kelly brings that stick back and he uses his release and he follows through right on the hip of the defender, there's no way to track that ball if you're Nust.
Kelly from the right wing. He pays rent to that portion of the turf.
Talk to Michael Phipps, their offensive coordinator. He says Daniel Kelly's the smartest player on the entire team. Can tell everyone where their spots are.
John Tillman said of all the players he has coached at Maryland that Daniel Kelly is most suited to become a high-level coach of the sport of lacrosse.
Kelly from a big lacrosse family. He has had 2 goals in the first 3 games of this tournament, and now 1 today. First midfield for Cornell. Willem Firth, former Ivy League Rookie of the Year, 51 in white. Reminds a lot of folks of another Cornell great who wore 51, Jeff Teat. Here's Dalton out of the box. Cornell using the sub game. Big Red have the backup.
That's beautiful offense. So you saw Kelleher that time using the sub game as a passer. A lot of times 27 white will come full head of steam and be the dodger in the substitution game.
Goldstein working on Canfield. Canfield knocks it loose. A lot of red. The Nimbus crowd, it goes back to Cornell. Maryland had knocked it out.
I like Ryan Goldstein pressing that matchup, but as soon as it becomes contested in a telephone booth, body on body, he's not going to win against Canfield. He's got to keep it a speed contest, use his quickness.
Kirst setting the pick that time. Firth to long, too high.
This is where he's effective.
Space.
In space, you use the firecracker feet. I like what he does a lot of times behind the goal at X2 when he uses the back of the goal to his advantage and make the defender think in terms of how you're going to guard him.
Shot clock winding down. Goldstein, doorstep, puts it in. He straight beat Jackson Canfield.
Get some ankle tape.
If you're Goldstein, why take away your superpower? It's the firecracker feet. You're 145 pounds. Why go into the meat of the defense? This is beautiful. Change of speed. The hard plant foot. And there is no help. Maryland has to support this matchup, and they put Canfield in space. You got to show a little bit.
You know, he beats him to the inside in the goal line, the tangent of the goal line. Had he beat him topside, I think the double team was there. Cornell spreads the field really well, and we've been talking about this Ryan Goldstein matchup. From a body type and skill set standpoint, Maryland's defenders are generally big and strong. They don't have a super quick guy to match feet with 30 Goldstein.
How about Goldstein, who has 40 goals and 50 assists now on the season?
Unbelievable sophomore campaign. Question for Maryland will be, how do you play that matchup? We've seen Canfield and Lake on Goldstein in the early stages of this contest.
Jonah Carrier, the freshman who was third on the depth chart to begin the season, wins the faceoff. Now Maryland against this Cornell ride. Terps have to get it across midfield before the shot clock hits 60. And Canfield able to do just that. You go back to 2017 here at Foxborough. It was Maryland who had a long title drought. They hadn't won since 1975. The great Frank Urso team had lost 9 times in the championship between 75 and 2017. Finally got over the hump, beating Ohio State. Beat Cornell in the title game in 2022. Lost to Notre Dame in the championship last year, now back again. Keegan Kelly, there's that right wing sweet spot. And Whittier backs up.
Better team offense from Maryland. Dodge hard, as John Tillman said. Share the ball, move, and dodge with conviction.
Whittier gets around, that got a piece of Nust. Here is Staub, had a goal and an assist in the semis. Over to Schwartz, now it's Kirst. This is where Cornell can spin it, and when they spin it, you can set their offense to Mozart.
Keep going.
Goldstein tiptoeing the crease.
And when they spin the ball, they get a lot of step downs too with guys like Hugh Kelleher. We talk about their offense, how prolific they are, best in school history, tops nationally. They also have the best shooting percentage of any team in the country.
Cornell going a little deeper into its bench. Danny Cadigan in there, 40 in white.
Nothing.
Goldstein will initiate from behind. Didn't get much on that pass. Now Dalton.
Kelleher's got a matchup. Top right of your screen, 27 in white. Here it is. Now he's going to draw a double team. Then you're going to see Cornell spin the ball circular.
You see the chance of Hugh from the crowd. A hat trick in the semis. Firth using the Cadigan pick. Gets to the middle. Fires on goal. McNaney vetoes. Kelleher on the rebound. Whiffs. Loose ball. This will be a shot clock reset if Cornell has it. And a timeout by Connor Busick to salvage that possession with 10:58 to go here in quarter number 2. Both teams have alternated goals so far. Cornell with a 3-2 lead. Alum turned legendary Cornell head coach. He used to say it's great to be here. Great to be here with Paul Carcaterra, Quint Keshnick, Dana Boyle, Anish Robb. Championship Monday. CJ Kirst working on Schaller, still looking for his first point of the weekend. The nation's leading scorer. Dalton maneuvering down the alley. Kelleher wants it. Kelleher, shot fake. Fires with the right hand, shot blocked. And that last break we saw Kelleher holding his hamstring.
Yeah, trainers were working on his right hamstring, and Hugh is normally the type of dodger that likes to continue with his feet moving at full speed, and he stopped halfway through that last release.
That was a caused turnover by CJ Kirst. just hustling. Talk about the culture of Cornell. Well, making those hard hat effort plays is in their DNA.
CJ Kurst leads the team and cause turnovers. Once again, he does it. Listening to Mike Levine, what separates Cornell, he touched on the culture. It's so intriguing to me. You see guys from the 1970s, like Mike French, coexisting with guys who just graduated a couple years ago, and Gavin Adler. They're part of the same team still. It's generational proof, Cornell lacrosse.
And Quint, you hit on hard hat culture. You see that number 21 on the hard hat? That's for former captain George Boyardi, who was struck with a ball in the chest and killed during a game back in 2004. Boyardi, the hard hat, it's the embodiment of what Cornell lacrosse is meant to be. And even in a year where they play such musical lacrosse on offense, you talk to the players, they say the hard hat is in their mitochondria. It's ground balls, it's caused turnovers, it is the ride, and a lot of numbers that are associated with Cornell, but 21 has a special meaning. And talking to a lot of the Cornell parents in our hotel, they said, you know, it's fitting because it was 21 years ago that George Boyardi passed away, and his parents are here today.
And they're with Andrew Collins in the middle, who was a former teammate and captain with George Boyardi, and they're all in attendance today. And his impact is so profound. The locker is still there up in Ithaca. Everything they do is in tribute to George Boyardi.
His legacy is being a great teammate. Those are the fundamentals of the Cornell culture.
Even in the weight room, they don't do 20 reps. They do 21. Kurst. That was his best look of the weekend.
I thought he could have shot it earlier. He had the separation. He kind of ran out of angle there.
He did. He tried to twist her, but maybe worse than that, Kark, is his teammate on the far post was slamming for a backside look, and they lost the run out.
You saw Mom Michelle nodding her head a moment ago with the sunglasses. NBA playoffs continue with Game 4 of the West Finals. Thunder with a 2-1 series lead on the T-Wolves. ESPN2 will have the Insight cast with avatar shot charts, virtual 3D replays, and immersive analysis. Coverage at 7:30 with the Countdown crew. Kark in the settled set. What's Maryland's cocktail?
I think they need to get their midfielders dodging short sticks and start setting some picks too. They're not winning the one-on-one matchups. The picks will give that extra step. I think Bryce Ford, 24 in red, has the ability to go both ways, right and left, on a short stick.
Urksa plays it back to Whittier. Kelly's got a goal. Ford, a converted attackman. The position he played at Fairfield. Off the invert against the short stick, Gil Martin. Draws the slide. Whittier from the outside off the crossbar. Rebound to Maryland. Shot clock reset. Spanos has his man hung up. Spanos 6'5". Dooley slips. Spanos hands free, and he scores. His 12th goal of this postseason.
Coach is hot because he thought it's a moving pick. Extended possessions, that's what Maryland loves to do. CJ Kurst takes a maybe shot. He tries to go to the twister here late. Watches the head of his stick come over his right shoulder and shoots for that far post. But at the end of the day, Spanos is set up by just a vicious pick at goal line extended.
Maryland wins the run out. I was asking for the pick game because that gives you the separation and the confusion. That's just I want it type goal. Eric Spanos puts everything into this one. 6'5", 220 pounds. Pure strength and skill, and he's kind of owned this area. He had 4 goals against Syracuse in the semifinal game. All were in that right wing range area. This time with a little bit of space after he just puts the body and muscles up.
A young man who battled through some injuries in high school, redshirted in 2022 when Maryland went undefeated and beat Cornell in the championship.
They say Maryland doesn't have an alpha on offense. They haven't been watching Eric Spanos lately.
He's the guy. He is the guy. You know, coming into the weekend, they didn't have a 50-point score. Some teams have 2, 3. Maryland does it by committee, but when the game is on the line, you need a play. It's Spanos.
Cornell has a guy with 70, another with 90, and Kirst north of 100. Both teams even at the face-off X. Tied for the third time today. We have alternated goals. Cornell with the opening salvo, and then back and forth. Firth over to Long, feeding inside to Dalton. Andrew Dalton, big red rifle. He had the game winner against Richmond in the quarters.
Dalton had a huge fourth quarter to propel the Big Red to championship weekend down at Hofstra in the quarterfinals. Firth does the initial drawing, and then it's Mr. Assister. Michael Long, his 12th assist of this tournament. How about the deception to catch that ball low and don't do anything other than shelf it?
Terrific cut by Dalton. The ball movement from behind up top to Long leaves the defense vulnerable on their slide and recovery. And Dalton doesn't stay still. He presses the middle.
That's vintage Cornell, though. It's the double assist. They don't track that in the sport of lacrosse, but Cornell, they do so well when it's the two away.
They're hunting the best shot available, not the next shot.
With that Dalton goal, Cornell has 6 20-goal scorers now on its team. Singer, the Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year, picks up the ground ball. Cornell wants to go. Staub directing traffic. Firth eyes up Kohler, using the Kirst pick, feeding the crease. Good recovery by Maryland. Kirst gets it back now. One away to Wharton favorite. Kelleher, a first-team All-American midfielder. Shrugs off Larkin. Now the swashbuckling Firth. Maryland hedges, doesn't slide. 25 to shoot. Long, 2 assists today. That's a good feed. That goes off the side of the net. McManey able to come up with it. 6.5 to play, first half.
Keep going, 30. Keep going, 30.
Maryland played in the late game Saturday. Cornell the early game. And Quint history has borne it out. There's an advantage playing earlier on Saturday.
Stats will tell you last 17 years. Game 2 winners, what, like 4 and 13 on Monday? Do you believe in those numbers?
It's also a way to equalize.
Is that real? Is that real?
Equalize John Tillman. Less tape he could watch.
Irks up, fires. Nust has been strong. 70%, 7 out of 10 for the senior out of Tampa, Florida, who was an attackman growing up. His team, coached by his dad, needed a goalie. His dad said, all right, why don't you play?
That thing's moving.
They want Long to be the trigger man.
97 from C.J. Kirst. 97 miles an hour.
Normal hot spot. He's scored so many goals this season and throughout his career. But the last 3 games now, heading into this third game, only 2 goals. This guy who's averaged 6 points a game.
The #1 pick in the PLL draft. Again, using the sub game here. Sheehan over to Kirst. Schaller on him. Kirst down the alley. That's off the pipe. Goldstein the backup. That resets the shot clock to 60.
That's what I would do if I was C.J. Kirst. Schaller, 27 in red, wants to play behind the goal, wants to get muscle type matchup at goal line extended. Get him up top.
Goldstein with his second. And we have our first 2-goal lead of this championship game.
John Tillman looking at the replay. We talked about the Goldstein matchup. He's tried 2 different defenders on him, and they have no answers. Here's the save. Look, this is not a bad shot, but the location, that's an easy stop. Quite honestly, Maryland is putting the ball into the stick of Wyatt Nust. Here at the other end, Goldstein does it from the perimeter this time, outside the D-man.
145 pounds on Peter Lake, a freshman who will be a great one. But from a matchup perspective, this is a daunting task on the two-handed Goldstein. When you watch him play 30 and white, you have no clue if he's right-handed or left-handed.
He may be little, but he is fierce. 12th multi-goal game this season for Ryan Goldstein. Dad Tim, a legendary player with the Big Red in the late 80s. Battle here at the face-off X. That's going to be a hold on Cornell. Maryland ball. 54 in red. George Stamos.
Maryland's half-court offense is just sluggish right now. They got a rebound goal from Bryce Ford, Kelly from Larkin in transition, and then 1 Spanos isolation. We just have not seen the rapid ball movement.
Where a defender slipped. Keegan, the Binghamton transfer, against Davis. Ali Dodd, shot misses the cage. And Cornell with another hustle play. That's Staub.
That's huge. Props to Cornell's defense, too, because they've been winning ugly the last few weeks. We saw them up in Ithaca at the Ivy Championships. They got roasted.
It was
against
so bad.
Princeton.
Well, against Yale, they got roasted in the semis. Remember, it was so bad they had to go to his own defense?
They let up 15 against Princeton, too, in the finals.
Oh, they went off sides. Maryland then gives it up. Now we're going to have some whistles. Hold on. It looks like they're going to give it to Maryland.
Shot clock.
So off the offsides call, it's almost as if the officials are saying, hey, we never had the actual whistle for the restart. Maryland in the red, Cornell in the white. Just Cornell's second turnover of the game. Terps offensively shooting 3 for 19. Errant pass. Kelly retrieves. Spanos pivots. Keegan against the short stick Lamb. Split dodge into the shadow realm.
Keegan looks like he's got great legs today. He's really springing and bouncy. They got to put him in. They got to put him in a dodging situation. That's twice he's flashed to me. 36 in red.
Here he is behind the cage. Nust may have gotten a piece of it.
What I like about Keegan, it's the hard plant foot to get separation. It's like a jump cut. He explodes out of that hard plant foot.
Nust did not get a piece of it, so no shot clock reset. Schultz, the freshman from Ridgewood. Now Bryce Ford, Fairfield's top scorer the last 2 years. Against the short stick Bozzi. Shot clock at 10. Spanos with the left hand, he scores. That's what Maryland did to Syracuse in the semis. They had 3-4 goals that came inside of 10 seconds on the shot clock.
They're at it again, Anish. They'll lull you to sleep and then bam. And Eric Spanos showing you some versatility. From this spot, he typically loves to hammer it right-handed, Quint. He sees the defense overplaying his strong hand and pops it with the left.
This is all about subtlety and nuance. Defender Dooley goes under the pick. He then comes back, and it's almost like a double whammy. Right here, under, comes back to the pick, frees up his left. You see it. The patterns in lacrosse are very similar to basketball. You're dribbling, you go past the pick the first time, you change directions, come back, and you nail that mid-range jumper.
You reject the pick when the defense hedges too much that you're going to go over the pick.
Spanos in this tournament shooting 13 for 27. Wings have gotten involved in almost every face-off. It's been a melee.
Nothing.
Look at this scrum.
Nothing.
This is everybody. It's like 20 guys.
It's like watching a 7-year-old's game,
I was
right?
going to say it's a PAL Youth League game. A little more at stake.
And it's Staub out of the clouded wrath of the crowd.
I mean, those plays, Cornell has repeatedly made the hustle plays in this game. Maryland's a team, they don't make mistakes. They're so clean in the middle of the field. They're the kings of the restarts. But today, Cornell, 3 times I got them with 3 hustle plays in this game.
And they've only turned the ball over 2 times the entire half. That's incredible for an offense that likes to gas it.
Kirst pinballs off a defender. Bad shot! And C.J. Kirst is online here on championship weekend.
You almost feel the sigh of relief. Let's go Red feels their superstar. Brothers are in the stands. He's at it again, Quint.
His head coach, Connor Busick, goes airborne after this goal. This bounce shot under the bar. Watch the kick you get off this artificial surface. Overhand. Oh.
That goal just meant more. Last game against Penn State. 0 for 10. 2 for 13 in the previous game against Richmond. He is the star of all stars. Just like rocket fuel injected in their blood right now.
Add one more to the ledger for the great C.J. Kirst.
Well done. Better, greater than well said. Although it was Kirst who spoke to the team last night after dinner in the hotel.
We're going to get a hold on Cornell. Cornell has had a couple of 2-goal leads at 5-3 and now 6-4. That's been the largest margin for anybody. Maryland has not led today. Aiken wheels down the alley. We'll try Davis again. Road to nowhere. Gives it up. Singer all over Urksa. Urksa got free, plays it back to X. Aiken, a chance here for Schultz. The freshman with his first goal in 5 games. The Terps bench explodes.
This game could be epic because Maryland's offense for the first time tonight, watch the triangle passing. Urksa presses the corner, kicks it behind. They attack the far side. They get a high percentage shot. That is execution.
That looks like Cornell's offense if you watch them on tape throughout the course of the year. Early March down in Atlanta against 2-time defending champ Notre Dame. Jack Schultz came to the party as a freshman. 2 monster goals. Down at Georgia Tech, Bobby Dodd Field. I walked away from that game saying he has a star, John Tillman, in this freshman. New Jersey State Player of the Year. The stage not too big for the young buck.
Had 2 goals in a win against Princeton as well. Carrier and Cascadden. And Cascadden wins this faceoff. He's got 10 goals on the season.
They got numbers here.
50 is the 6'7" Walker Wallace. He has the green light.
They do. All their polls do. 11 poll goals this season from the Big Red.
Final 45 seconds. Opening half. Cornell has a timeout. Hurst working on Schaller. Goldstein plays it back to Hurst. To timeout Connor Busick. In the 1970s, you can say it was the decade of...
This is a big spot right now for Connor Busick and the team. I think you start with a big body Dodger, either a C.J. Kurtz or a Hugh Kelleher, and then I would like to see some ball movement and find Goldstein in space.
Well, yes, Kelleher is an automatic double team. Long has been your key passer, #1 in white. And Goldstein's behind the net as a point guard.
Cornell probes the perimeter. Burke looking for the crease feed. It's taken away. McNaney.
Left too much time on the clock for Maryland here.
A chance to get even. Terps still have a timeout. They've got to get it into the attack box. They chuck it way downfield. Cornell saying that's a pass. Oh! Nust is out of the cage. Oh! Spanos had his shot blocked. That might end up being a critical play in this game. Nust was out of the cage. Maryland had time, and Spanos had an empty net, but his shot was blocked.
That got dicey. That got absolutely disastrous. Right here, this is a great save. This is a live ball. Nust makes a play on it. He should have just scooped it and carried it to the sideline. So he turns it over, and then he gets dusted. But the good hustle, watch this is hustle play #4 right there. Eating the shot.
That's an offensive player.
Andrew Dalton eats that shot.
Andrew Dalton, known as a Canadian inside finisher, making a hard hat play.
And that's been the case for John Tillman and Maryland on Memorial Day Monday, 2-6 in the national title game, after having a spectacular record in the quarterfinals and the semis.
In many ways, it's a microcosm of Maryland's history in this game as a program, even before Tillman. 4-13 all time in the national championship game. Maryland jumped. That means Shea Keefler cannot take the next faceoff. Cornell with possession to begin the third.
I think what Coach Tillman's talking about. Look, in half-field sets, Cornell's offense is probably going to be better than Maryland. So the Terps have to win the middle of the field.
They have the capability of doing it. Their long poles, A.J. Larkin and Jack McDonald, they can trigger transition for them.
Let's see if Hurst can get going. Had the goal in the first half, his first of championship weekend. Nation's top goal scorer, nation's points leader, all-time leading scorer in Division I. Willem Firth. Kelleher's been quiet today after a big semifinal. Goldstein with 2 goals. Michael Long, the facilitator in this postseason. Long with a bouncer, McNaney with the save. Schaller off the rebound.
That was big for
Danger.
Danger on the clear. Stamos recovers.
Mentioned earlier with Logan McNaney having to play a huge second half. In the wins this year, he's at 61%. The losses, he teeters around 50%. He had the 6 saves and the 6 goals against in the first half. This is the moment for Logan to give the offense multiple opportunities.
His teammates all spoke about how he emanates a calm from the cage. That spreads to everybody. That shot hits the pipe from Kelly. Dooley catches the rebound.
Pass down, pick down from Maryland. Nuss catches a break.
Gilmartin turbos into the attack box, slips, gets mauled. We get a timeout. We did. Connor Busick sensing the importance of every possession and using a timeout less than 2 minutes into the third quarter.
And he said, "That's on me," so you sense some regret calling that timeout, Anish.
championship level type game. I'm holding both of my timeouts for the fourth quarter.
What does Cornell do with the possession? Waldman with a goal. He scored in both the semifinal and the final. Waldman runs out of an angle. Goldstein to Luzzy. He's a lefty. Kirst from long range. McManey vacuums.
You know what surprised me is out of that timeout and that stoppage, Cornell plays their second midfield group. After that rest, you expect to see Kelleher in the top unit out there. Maybe that shows you what Coach Busick's thinking about the way Kelleher's running.
The Women's College World Series begins Thursday in Oklahoma City for the 34th year. We'll have the first two games on ESPN. Number 6 Texas takes on the 3-seed Florida. Then you've got the 7-seed Tennessee against the 2-seed and 4-time defending champion Oklahoma. Whittier retreats. Spanos calls for it. Gets it. 2 goals in the first half. Spanos muscling inside. He's got the shorty Davis. When does Cornell help? Now. Spanos gives it up. Davis held his own. Shot clock inside of 20. Terps have never led in this game. Looking to get back to even. Spanos again defended by Davis. Tough angle. Dooley able to pick it up. Feathers the sideline, whiffs. That's going right back to Maryland, the ride by Kelly.
And a fresh shot clock here is key now. This defense, this is really the first time today Maryland has tied together back-to-back long possessions.
And it's a fresh 80 because Cornell had established possession.
And they'll use a big chunk of this. This is just what the doctor ordered.
They see a little bit of zone defense out of Cornell for the first time today.
Dancing around the crease. Now Spanos almost stepped in. Staub picks up Spanos. Whittier puts one on Cage. Big run out. And a hustle by Bazzi.
The hard hat plays. I count 4 right now. That and the turnover differential. Cornell's just playing so smart, and they're beating Maryland in the inches. You've got to play almost a perfect game to beat the Terps.
Taking another look at this offensive midfield. After the timeout, the second midfield Quinn alluded to was out there. Now Hugh Kelleher, trainers were working on a right hamstring. He's back in this game, but the one take since the trainers were working on him, just didn't see that same pop. He's got the ball right now.
Hugh the Hammer, Ivy League midfielder of the year. Now CJ Kirst, best player in the nation. Kirst wheeling inside. Second goal for Kirst. And the Cornell bench getting juiced.
There's the family. Mom Michelle in the middle with the Reds celebrating. Brother Colin on the right, Boston Cannons goalie.
Watch the pick. Just brushes Schaller. Kirst is running right-handed down the alley, and then at the last minute, Karki plants right-footed and cuts right across just to give himself a hair of an angle. He used his shoulders to get inside Schaller and create some leverage.
Schaller wants to get to the point of attack earlier and get him off his line. Once CJ feels comfortable, then he just drops that left plant foot to extend his angle because he goes in and out at the last second.
Mom Michelle with the sunglasses, flanked by her sons. CJ's brothers.
Caden on the right.
Freshman at Rutgers. Oldest brother.
Connor far right.
Yep. That's Colin writing something down.
Colin with the shades, the goaltender in the PLL.
Cole to his right. California Redwoods midfielder.
Cornell wanted to push. Big Red again. Another 50-50 ground ball that goes their way.
Scrappier. They've been scrappier, without a doubt.
Clark, Maryland has gotten Cornell to play its style. It's been a slower game. It hasn't been as frenetic.
But Cornell's giving them a little bit of dose of their own medicine. They're not turning the ball over. They're methodical. They're so smart with the rock. CJ picking his spots.
Sheehan with a look off the pipe. If Cornell gets this, a shot clock resets to 60. Ball popped into the air, and it comes back to Cornell, new 60. So now the Big Red can make this Maryland defense dig in a little deeper. Kirst has scored the last two. Luzzy's got a goal today. Second midfield has been key. Michael Long, that one will reset the shot clock to 60. 95 miles per hour. Fourth pipe that Cornell has grazed. Goldstein, top side, not much on it. Kirst feeding behind the back. Waldman and McNaney had the backup.
That's the veteran mind, the run out. If you're a nervous first-time goalie in a stage like this, you just want to stop the rock. McNaney knows and he senses once that ball leaves Goldstein's stick, he's getting that run out closest to the ball when it went out of bounds on a shot.
You're standing next to somebody who's pretty good at that, Quinn Kesnick.
Make the plays that are presented to yourselves as a goalie, whether it's a ground ball around the crease, clean outlets, or a run out.
Park, what's the matchup here for Maryland?
I think Spanos has had some success from the attack perspective. But I think Keegan and Ford against the short sticks.
Irks up. Body save, Nust. Fox wants it on the outlet. Finally, Nust sees him.
The second
saves for Wyatt Nust.
That was the second midfield group for the Terps. Maybe a little impatience.
Seen them twice now get shots off quick in the shot clock.
Kirst sledgehammers inside, draws the flag, free possession over to Long, and now this surgical and lethal Cornell extra man unit goes to work.
Yes, but against a technical, rock-solid man-down defense. Another strength on strength.
That was on red 7. Hold. 30-second technical. 7 red. Hold. 30-second technical. Reset to 60.
This is one of those specialty situations that with a week's prep, if you're Maryland defensive coordinator Jesse Bernhardt, you plug in all the clips from Cornell this season, you go through them, you rep them in practice. So on one day's prep, don't be surprised to see Cornell set up in maybe a different look to throw them off guard.
And if you're Maryland, you cannot lose 51. Willem Firth, 9-man-up goals, second in the country, behind a Jack Horrigan of Providence. Firth has it. The interior passing with the extra man is what makes Cornell so good in these situations.
This unit hasn't scored in the NCAA tournament.
Kelleher, Kirst, skirts wide, Goldstein the backup.
They have all the ingredients. You got the passer behind the cage in Goldstein, wing guys in Long and Kirst, and then I think like that tweener in Firth. That's why he's so good. He's got some range, but he also has the inside game.
Skip pass, Kirst. Maryland gets its sixth man back in there. Kelleher falling down, able to hold on. Shot clock now at 20.
26 in red, Larkin's a beast. Redshirt sophomore, rising star, be a first-round pick in the PLL.
Kirst strong to the cage, like a tremendous machine. He scored 3 in a row for the Big Red.
He's in takeover mode. Watch the subtle angle change as his family celebrates. Watch him kind of zigzag here a little. It's a V. If you draw this on a piece of paper, watch, it's in, step away just a little to free up your hands.
And he sees no Will Schaller on that matchup. That's Jack McDonald, a long pole midfielder, who's not used to playing the big body in that spot there. C.J. Kirst, the lefty, gets Logan guessing. But when you're an attackman and you're constantly being guarded by a guy like Schaller who loves the body, you're salivating as C.J. Kirst knows he's in reach. Only 3 shy of the great John Reese in 1990 at Yale. And then Miles Thompson, part of that 1-2-3 punch with the Thompson brothers and Cousin Ty.
Maryland jumped, Cornell with the ball, and Quint, you get the sense this game is at a tipping point. If you build a lead on Maryland, you take the Terps out of slow and steady mode.
That's been a consistent theme in their 3 losses this season. Cornell has shown the ability to play at a slow down tempo. They can certainly run.
Muzzy picked up by Larkin. Steers to Goldstein.
With Maryland, you've got to take custody of C.J. Kirst right now. He's feeling it.
Great players on the greatest stage. Goldstein trying to shake loose of Canfield. Goldstein into a double team, a triple team, lost it. We're going to get a hold on Cornell.
Maryland is going to have to find a way to speed this game up, and it will be on the shoulders of their long stick midfielders, A.J. Larkin and Jack McDonald, who's shown me multiple times this year the ability to go.
Western on ESPN, Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Connor McDavid and the Oilers hosting the Stars. Edmonton leading the series 2-1. Coverage drops with the points at 7:30. Whittier, that's a whack from Dooley. First midfield on for Maryland. Keegan on the redodge. Off the pipe, the ricochet with some English. Ford can't come up with it. Loose near midfield.
Still a shot.
Carnage out of the Tempest. It's Ford.
Okay, that ball comes off the pipe with the goalie up into the air, and when it lands, it always has backspin.
So with a fresh shot clock, Spanos pedals back. Checked by the short stick, Gil Martin.
That's a Ward.
He got away with one. And finds Urksa for the goal.
Spanos is your guy. You have to ride him. He is drawing the eyes of the defense. Urksa is the recipient. But this is the big body, 6'5" on a shorty. Cornell knows they have the support. All eyes are on 7. Urksa flashes and understands that. Bam!
Right there, the entire Cornell rooting section, bench, head coach. It looked like warding off. You use that free hand.
What'd you think, Quint? Enough to...
I called it in live time. I thought it was a Ward.
Yeah, looked like it.
I thought it was a little exaggerated at the end. After the point of attack, his arm kind of flashed out.
But was it used to gain an advantage? Yes. Or was the player falling down prior to that? It's a huge goal.
But
huge.
This is big for Maryland. Maryland's not a team that could win faceoffs and score right off it. Their entire unit has only 3 goals this season. A guy like Cascadden on his own has 10, so can Maryland find some oomph off the faceoff?
Kiefler won it, lost the ball. This is a big ground ball. Cornell able to pick it up. Big possession for Maryland. McDonald, an All-American, 51 in red. Faceoffs almost even. Maryland with a 9-8 edge.
Kiefler fumbling and bumbling and bumbling and running out of time and space. He made the play.
Cornell with the takeaway. TJ Lamb. Now Quint, going into this tournament, you questioned Cornell's short stick defensive midfield. They played well in this tournament. Staub cranks, boy, he has the green light. Scored in the semis.
And Ish, one thing we learned at the Ivy League tournament, Cornell plays about 6 different short stick defensive midfielders. They can go as deep as 4 at the long stick position. And in that tournament, And in this NCAA tournament, they've played their best defense in the second half of the game. If you have just good players, play a lot of them. They don't get tired on defense.
Keller. Anvils down the alley. Goldstein back to the wing, now Firth. He's been quiet today. Kohler defending Firth. The freshman Lake picking up Goldstein, now C.J. Kirst. There's the great matchup with Schaller. First team All-American defender. Long. Using the Kirst pick. Firth. Here's the poetry. Coming around the corner. C.J. Kirst. This is what greatness is all about. He has scored the last 4 for Cornell.
Nice cross-check hold by Lamb, and he's off to the races. He just kind of guesses correctly. And then Kirst is in takeover mode. If you're Maryland's defense, you got to help here. He's curling top side, and right now, he can't miss.
And all 4 goals, Kark, unassisted. We're watching a great player put his team on his back.
In the biggest moment, coming off of 2 subpar performances, Tillman doesn't know what to do, how to stop CJ. Nobody does. But Quint, you made the point about the short stick D-middies. When you run 4 to 5 to 6 short stick D-middies, as the Kirst family looks on, when you're on the field, you play that run like it's your last, because if you're not emptying the tank, you're not going back in. Lamb with a monster play.
Big face-off wing. Carrier, Spanos. Singer deflected it.
Nice approach by Jason Singer. 43 in white. Again, that's a hustle. That's an effort play.
Meanwhile, that goal for Kirst, the 80th this season. And he joins Reese and Thompson as the only 80-goal scorers in the history of Division I men's lacrosse.
That last goal by Kirst silenced the Maryland bench, so much so that Tillman had to energize them. Well, that works.
Zach Whittier gets one back for the Terps.
Timely goal, the senior from Washington, D.C., known as a passer. He actually leads the team in assists, and so he's given little respect. He's given all sorts of real estate up top. Back and forth he goes. Slide is late, and he beats Nuss from mid-range.
He's a passer and a natural lefty. They are forcing Whittier, begging him to go down the right alley. And Nuss there just gets caught. Whittier's offhand, stick side low.
Players tend to shoot low with their offhand. Less power. They rely on the accuracy game, and there's something with that motion.
Yes, it's natural to go over the top. Full overhand with the offhand. When it's your strong hand, you have all those different release points. Unless you're supernatural.
And Quint, we're seeing Maryland now going early in the shot clock like they did with Whittier. Perhaps there's a bit of urgency on that Terrapin sideline as well.
John Tillman, Mike Phipps, their offensive coordinator, and I think their entire team understands what's at stake here, and you can't sit back. Now, they're forced to attack. You're not going to see the 80-second possessions.
They can play fast. Pacing-wise, over the course of the year, one of the slower teams. Only 2 other teams in Division I slower pacing-wise, but they've shown spots throughout the year where they can strike quick.
Urksa, little shake. Spanos and Keegan play catch. Keegan's got the short stick Ballsy.
Cornell remaining in a man-to-man defense.
Whittier had the last one. Spanos has been the guy all tournament. Final minute, quarter number 3. Spanos trying to get top side. And on the shot by Whittier, Nust is there.
Whittier thought maybe Nust didn't know where the ball was.
That's exactly right.
Nust very alert.
.30 seconds left, third quarter, national championship. The 9-7 score, that was the final in 2022 when Maryland beat Cornell in the title game. Since winning it all in 1977, the second of back-to-back titles, Cornell has lost in the championship game 5 times. Kelleher with some giddy-up. They've been working on that hamstring. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, got to put it on Cage. And Cornell took too much time. 15 minutes remain in regulation. Cornell has been close before on Championship Monday on this field. Can they close out the Terps? Or will John Tillman and Maryland win a 3rd title in the Tillman era?
Welcome back to Foxborough. I'm joined now by head coach of the Cornell Big Red, Connor Busick. Coach, you're 15 minutes away from bringing a title back to Cornell, the first since 1977. What's the priority in the 4th quarter?
We got to finish with our heart. Cornell-like effort, George Boyardi-like effort. That's going to allow us to push this thing over the top.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Finishing is paramount. 0 for 5 since 1977 in championship games. And they've had some close ones, Anish, some heartbreaking ones.
1987, when Kesnick was in goal for Johns Hopkins. Craig Boubier scored the game winner for the Blue Jays with 1:51 left. Quint, that was an undefeated Cornell team.
And I don't think any of these players are looking at history, quite honestly. It's about staying true to yourself as a player, play to your strengths, stay with the team identity, and be able to walk off this field knowing that you gave it absolute 100% effort.
2009 on this field in the championship against Syracuse. Cornell had the lead and the ball with 20 seconds to go, could not clear. Kenny Nims scored the game-tying goal. Cody Jamieson won it in overtime. Last time Cornell won a title, it was 3 days after the original Star Wars movie hit theaters. C.J. Kirst has scored the last 4 for Cornell, all unassisted. He did not score in the semis. First time he was held without a point. Firth got a step, gets inside. Cornell wanted to push. Instead, a turnover. Only the 6th of the game for Cornell. Both teams have played pretty clean. 6 turnovers apiece. Maryland with some issues on the clear. And that is failure to advance. You have to get it across midfield before that shot clock hits 60. Cornell wants to go quickly, and they do! A hat trick for Goldstein.
This is disaster zone for Maryland. Number 2 in the country clearing the ball. They've been impeccable all season long. Desperation to get it over the midline to avoid the 20 seconds. And then Goldstein capitalizes and puts Maryland in an awful spot.
Schaller, 27, should have gotten into the hole, but he's on C.J. Kirst. So he plays this dead ball upfield, and Goldstein's behind him. The end zone view showed 27 flowing upfield. Sometimes you have to forget about your matchup and just get into the hole and stop the transition. Cornell wins the restart.
And the righty Goldstein scores with what hand?
The left.
Right there. Straight up and down, low field. Set.
Goldstein and Kirst have 7 of Cornell's 10. Highest scoring tandem in all of Division I. Carrier, the freshman, a big face-off win. And Maryland has started to take control at the face-off X. The NCAA Women's College World Series starts Thursday, and for the 24th straight year, every game on ESPN. The finals begin Wednesday, June 4th from Oklahoma City. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Urgency now for Maryland. Keegan against Gilmartin. Ford plays it to Urksa, using the Ford pick. Urksa, right hand free, whistles it high. Back up to Kelly, 32 to shoot. Dooley, the Massachusetts native, starts on Kelly. More of a shooter than a dodger. Now Spanos. Spanos, feet in front to Urksa. That's twice now Spanos has found Urksa. It's 10-8.
Starts with winning faceoffs, and then this is a gorgeous spot feed, like a lob pass. Watch the placement of this and the spatial awareness as Spanos puts it to space and anticipates where Urksa is going to be.
He's been tremendous. He shows you the ability to play bully ball at goal line extended, but 2 elite passes on the last 2 goals by the Terps. Spanos is so well-rounded and made for moments like this, as we see in goalie cam. Look at the placement on a lefty goalie. Can't get better.
We're at the juncture of the game where you look to the stars. Kirst, Goldstein for Cornell. Spanos, McNaney for Maryland. Cascadin and Carrier. Big ground ball. Wallace could not hold on. Cornell able to come away with it. That was actually Michael Melkonian taking the face-off. Second midfield for Cornell. Sheehan, Luzzy, and Waldman. Luzzy pedals in. Here's the hot stepper. Kirst, defended by Schaller. Kirst absorbing the contact. Long with 30. Wing dodge Sheehan. Omaha. 15 on the shot clock. This vaunted Terps defense holding. Shot clock at 9. That's off the pipe. And it goes back to Cornell with a shot clock reset to 60. Goldman, the trigger man.
Fresh legs coming in. Maryland's going to try to sub off a bit on defense as well.
They get a fresh shorty in Kohler. Subbed off Thomas Gravino, number 6. Hugh Kelleher. There's Kirst now, shaded by Schaller. Using the pick, Kirst gets inside on the cross. McNaney, the veto! Star power against star power converging.
We knew he had to steal some. We said it at halftime. Nobody has played bigger in big spots over the years for the Terps than the 5'8" goalie from Corning, New York.
And if Maryland scores here, off of that save, that's a pendulum swing, a violent one. John Tillman sensing the moment, uses a timeout.
That was an incredible example of Logan McNaney's patience. You get some breaks in this game when you're a keeper. Rattles one off the iron. But patience, instincts, and efficiency, just waiting for the last moment to match sticks.
We're starting to see their stars shine. It's Urksa, it's Spanos.
Logan gives you this opportunity. If I'm John Tillman, I'm not going to get cute and look for every short stick matchup. I'm giving the ball to Spanos. He's my guy offensively, and I don't care who's on him.
Stovall can stretch a defense, 44 in red. Here's Spanos to Aiden Aiken, defended by Gil Martin. Urksa, former Big Ten freshman of the year, a junior from Marietta, Georgia. Now the freshman Schultz. Spanos against Staub, gets the pick, gets the matchup. He's got a short stick. Spanos wants to take it. Help coming. Who's open? Spanos, left hand. Nust got a piece. It's going to stay with Maryland.
You see why? They're using the pick game, but he's playing with a different type of sense of urgency. 7 wants the ball.
He's taken 8 shots.
Maryland sets beautiful picks, effective picks. They crush you in the picking game.
2 goals, 2 assists for Spanos. Stovall all the way, flag down. The goal is good. Maryland within 1.
Next level athlete, and you get the mosh pit back in action. Watch him go underneath, a little bit of an S dodge, underneath and then back up the goal line extended. Does he land in the goal mouth?
It doesn't matter, he was pushed in the goal mouth. You could land in the goal mouth and there was a flag down because of defensive pressure. It's the half circle within the crease. Stovall leaves his feet, but he left his feet because of defensive pressure.
Right there.
Right there, they call that.
So they call that, which gives him the green light to land in the goal mouth.
That reminded me a lot of C.J. Kirst's underneath type dodge. You set the defender up, there's a little stutter and change in your speed, and then you win the leverage game from going under to over.
Carrier giving Maryland a boost at the face-off X.
Carrier may turn out to be the hero if Maryland can finish this comeback.
He started the year 3rd on the depth chart. In 2017, it was John Garino who started the year 3rd on the depth chart and turned into a game changer on championship weekend.
Jonah wasn't a highly touted recruit, Coach Tillman told me. They got him during COVID. He was more of an athlete converted into a face-off guy.
He's been a spark plug here. Whittier up top to Spanos. Picked up by Staub with the giddy up. Dumps it back behind the cage. Keegan on the invert. Terps have never led in this game. Down a goal. Urksa measures Lamb. Plays it back to Spanos. Nust, a huge denial. Wyatt Nust has gone toe-to-toe in every way with Logan McNaney this afternoon. A dozen saves for Nust.
Cornell's got to stay true to their identity on offense. Don't play hero ball. Get the ball spinning. Then good things will happen when Maryland's defense has to double team and change their structure.
And a lot of the spinning comes from Hugh Kelleher being the initiator up top or Ryan Goldstein behind. And then it allows C.J. Kirst and others to dodge off of Bowman.
Cornell playing hangman on the far side.
Firth to Goldstein with a good look. That's going to be Maryland ball. Closest to the ball. Where and when it goes out of bounds on a shot, awarded possession.
How many times have we seen Logan do that today? It's the caginess, the veteran.
He told me don't get owned by the moment. That's a brutal turnover.
A rare, careless turnover from Maryland on the clear. The best clearing team in the country.
Seen that now twice in this second half in big spots in the 4th quarter. Losing opportunities for your offense with a careless mistake in the clear game.
Right after McNaney bailed you out with a big hustle play. Less than 7 minutes to go. A championship game, perhaps inching its way into the classic tier. First has Canfield. Inside roll. 5 goals for C.J. Kirst. Up to 81 on the season, 1 shy on record.
He's been covered by Will Schaller all day, and the brothers love it. Killer turnover by Maryland, sloppy in the middle of the field.
Penalty is wiped out.
That is just not who they are as a team and have typically been. This is a killer. And then on the ensuing possession, you don't get the right matchups. Schaller is not covering Kirst. Kirst sees it and takes advantage of it.
He has 5 goals today. All 5 are unassisted. What does that equate to? I'm owning my matchup. I'm owning the moment. I want to be a legend. I want to bring something back to Ithaca that hasn't lived there since 1977. Own the moment, young superstar.
The record for most goals in a championship game, 1976, Cornell, Maryland. Mike French scored 7 for the Big Red. Kirst has 5. Cornell has the ball again with a 2-goal lead. Less than 6.5 to go.
It's a big-time play by Staub. Bursting out of the defensive zone to get that loose ball. And the clean handle. Every possession from here out matters.
The last 7 Cornell goals have been scored by either Kirst or Goldstein.
And 9 of the 11 Cornell goals unassisted. So at the end of the day, when you break this game down, it was about matchups. My players have been better than your players from a one-on-one perspective.
It took C.J. Kirst a little while to get going. The switches stayed on.
Omaha, nothing, Jet, nothing.
Only a 2-goal lead. Here is Kirst again, feeling it. Michael Long with 12 to shoot. Takes Cornell behind the cage. Long. That looked like a kick save. Near the sideline. No, it's going to be Maryland ball.
Smart play by Jack McDonald, but that was a kick save. Terp's defense looked tired for the first time there.
It looked like Long might have won the run out, but he was actually out of bounds when the ball eventually went out of bounds. That's a great call by the official.
Maryland 3 failed clears today. Cornell has one of the top rides in the country. That's offsides.
Catastrophic. Out of character.
He knows it. These are self-inflicted wounds that you never see back to back to back with Maryland.
4:40 to go.
The reason for that offsides, polar opposite sides of the field, Anish, that flip-flopping. One minute goes over, and on the far side you have onside responsibility. So it's back and forth, back and forth. They both got caught beyond the midfield line.
4 failed clears for Maryland. They cleared at 91% entering the game. Kirst with a bouncer. Goldstein, the backup. 4:13 left in regulation. Cornell nurses a 2-goal lead. Goldstein defended by Lake. He scores! It's been Goldstein and Kirst. 4 for the sophomore. And this 3-goal lead for the Big Red feels massive.
Left-handed. Really no tricks there, Carl. He just posts up left-handed and shoots under the stick of the right-hander, Peter Lake.
And he fights through that shot, too. This isn't a situation where he's using space. He uses his body and he shoots around Lake. That is another unassisted goal. Goldstein flexes, and when you think about this day by Goldstein, it's been massive. He's been the best possible Robin to a Batman.
Like father, like son. Dad in the '87 championship against Hopkins had 8 points. Face-off violation there on Cornell. Now Maryland cannot afford patience.
We talked the last couple days. Did Maryland have someone to defend Ryan Goldstein?
Didn't think it was a good matchup for the Terps based on Goldstein's quickness.
Beginning of the game, he was trying to get into the body too much, then his speed took over.
Goldstein and Kirst have 9.
Oh, Maryland.
Of the Cornell 12. Maryland getting sloppy. Kelly able to recover. Goldstein and Kirst have also taken more than half of Cornell's shots. And we get a loose ball hold on the Terps. Maryland coming apart at the seams. Nust the outlet. Long cannot hold on. Big ground ball. Championship ground ball. Long able to get it back. Now Kirst. And he slams on the brakes.
Up 3 now. Maryland's got a decision to make. When do they start to press out and play the ball aggressively? Again, but how much gas you got in the tank as a defense?
You got to empty the tank, Quint. I say this because the face-offs are so even. If it was a game where there was such a decisive margin facing off, maybe you don't press as early. You got to go right now.
Logan McNaney staying in the crease. Cornell's going to be ultra conservative. They've got to be aware of field balance, and if there is a turnover, you can get back in the hole and deny transition. Cornell's in no rush.
Cornell's in no rush. Why isn't Maryland in a rush to press out? Shot clock at 15.
This is what you want. Dalton is primarily a finisher. Probably lock adjacents when 42 had the ball there.
Kelleher. Wow. They blow the whistle. It's a warding off on Kelleher. Maryland ball down 3, 2:14 to go. So they kept McNaney in cage. And even with the warding off, Cornell was able to bleed the clock.
Did you see the strength on that ward by Hugh Kelleher? And then the offhand rip, the goal lifted.
Got to clear it first. Cornell drops back in kind of a 3-3 deep zone ride. The windows are available, but they're tight.
Maryland able to get it over before that shot clock hits 60. Inside of 2 minutes.
We've got the one timeout.
Out of the box. Whittier. Cornell packing it in tight. Urksa sees a lot of congestion. Ford able to save the possession. Now Keegan. 90 seconds left. Maryland down 3. Still no shot on this possession. We'll get a flag. Now Whittier puts one on cage and scores. Heads up play by Whittier, knowing that with the flag it's a free possession. Get the man up quickly. He puts it on goal. He scores. That will likely kill the penalty.
Number 7, hold, is wiped out.
Good.
The goal is good. Face off.
Spot on, Anish. There's the ward by big Hugh Kelleher. And then Whittier.
John, what are you thinking here?
Spot on, Anish. He knows it's go time. There's the flag. You got to shoot right away.
Pass down, pick down. Deals with that hold on the corner from Davis. You talk about the importance of face-offs. This is gigantic right now.
Carrier has won 11 of 17. The freshman standing over Cascadin. Or rather, Malconian. Cornell comes up with it. Now Maryland's got to press out. They get a timeout before the trail check.
He had that one in his pocket, right? That was the last one he had.
Connor Busick still got the juice in those legs, man. You see him accelerate down the sideline and call that timeout. Now Coney and the freshman comes up clutch.
If there's one fan base.
Protector, chest protector, and a goalie stick on the field. That doesn't mean they have to be in the goal. So the Terps have 7 defensive players now in the D zone. They'll apply the double team and leave the empty net.
So McNaney, like you said, on the offensive half of the field. Cornell, winners of 13 straight, 17-1. Avenged their lone loss this season in the semis to Penn State. on the brink.
Schaller's a free runner. He's right in front of the net to discourage the Kirst outside shot.
And then he'll jump the double.
Here it comes.
Here comes Schaller to help Larkin. Kirst running away. Kirst scores an empty netter, and he will! He ties the single-season goals record, and he puts Cornell up by 3 with 50 seconds to go.
There's going to be some tears of joy. The Kirst family and Big Red Nation. If there's one player you want the ball in his stick in this spot to close it out, to tie the record, it's almost 2-story book.
You drive around upstate New York, central New York, and you see this heavy Greco-Roman flavor in the names of the cities, from Homer and Cicero and Manlius and Troy and Ithaca, where Cornell plays its home games and where the university is located. As you see C.J. Kirst's mom, Michelle, wiping tears from her eyes. Ithaca, in Greek mythology, in the Greek epics, was the ancestral home of Odysseus. Odysseus went off to war and was part of the fall of Troy. It took him 20 years to get back home. It's taken Cornell 48 years to bring a championship home to Ithaca. They're on the verge. Davis stepped out of bounds. Less than 30 seconds. Spanos, 15 seconds. An odyssey, a half century in the making, but the journey is complete. Cornell will bring a championship home to Ithaca. One of the great championship game individual efforts we have seen. C.J. Kirst was held scoreless in the semifinals for the first time in his career. He responds with 6 goals to deliver Cornell its first national title since 19.
Đúng là bạn như thắng rồi. Được rằng